Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Pratibha K.S., NSS Program Officer and Head Department of Biotechnology at KLE Society's S. Jilingappa College, Rajajnagar, Bengaluru. Today, our college NSS unit volunteers offering an awareness on internet safety. Now, I request Miss.Shuchika D. Belageri, Miss Likitha H.C. and Miss Poorna S. Gowda to present a talk on awareness on internet safety. Over to Suchika.
Opportunity. So hello to everybody, and today we have chosen the topic internet safety because it is the need of the hour. Has most of us, thanks to the lockdown, have shifted over to the internet mode of communication for everything, for each and everything, even if it is for grocery shopping or be it for our classroom attendance or anything at all. We use internet these days, any form of it for that matter, and being in a safe environment wherever we are is of utmost importance. So today we have chosen the topic internet safety because safety is priority wherever we are. So starting over with our presentation, I have my fellow mates, that is Likitha Hetsi and Poorna S. Goda, and we are all students of second year PCM, and we are also NSS volunteers, and we will start over with our presentation. So the objective of this presentation is that wisdom and knowledge about internet security. So how is wisdom different from knowledge, you may ask? Knowledge is just knowing. We all know about social media, we all know about internet, we all know how to Google, but do we have the wisdom to be safe in it? That is our objective of today's presentation. So the awareness, what you're supposed to have is synonym to smartness. The smarter you are, the more aware you will be, and this presentation will help you become more smart with respect to internet safety. So the internet is a very vast place and an interesting place. You can learn on it, and you can also get research for a project and also connect with family and friends. But the internet can also be a very dangerous place because the websites on the internet can be inappropriate and be potential threats. So we all know that the more pros we have to something, there are equally cons in that, and so goes with the internet as well. So in the internet, we see that we get a lot of information. Anything we want, it is at the tip of our finger. But at the same time, we are always prone to predators that are waiting to bring us down on the internet. So this presentation will bring more light into that aspect. And this the information session will mainly focus on two broad topics, namely information security and personal security. The information security will be hosted by Likitha Hetsi, and personal security will be overtaken by Poorna. So let's start with our presentation. Over to you, Likitha.
And thank you, Shuchika, for such wonderful explanation, introduction that you gave. And I'll be explaining about information security. Information, first of all, when we know about information security, information is something which we are getting from the internet, and we have several uses from internet as well, as Shuchika has mentioned. And also the securing that information that we are getting is also a necessity. So the basic definition of information security is that cybersecurity means protecting data, networks, programs, and other information from unauthorized or unattended access, destruction, or change. This is something about information security. There are many types of internet scammings which are happening in this present situation. So phishing is one of those types. Phishing is a type of scams where the scammers disguise as a trustworthy source in an attempt to obtain the private information such as passwords, credit card information, etc. through the internet. These fake websites are often designed to look identical to their legitimate counterparts to avoid the suspicion from the user. If I have to explain something about this phishing, there are some of the sites which they ask us send the links to our mobile phones, and they ask us to click on that link. We'll be redirected to some of the web pages where they'll ask us our personal information like date of birth, bank account details, and passwords. These are the highly secured information that we have to keep in high security, because through using these informations, one can get access to our personal life. One can get into the personal life, like getting the bank account details. They can get to know what is the amount of balance that are there present in our bank account. And if they get to know about the Aadhaar card number is something which is used everywhere in India now. If we give that Aadhaar card details, they get to know about the marks details that we have and our bank account details and everything. They get access to the information that one can get through this phishing. It's something they create identical sites, like the victim, or before becoming a victim, a person must not be suspected because this is a fake fake site, we are not supposed to get that suspicion. In order to avoid that, what these frauds or potential frauds they does is that they create a web pages similar to the real ones. They create the web pages similar to the real ones, and they make us believe that this is the real web page that we have common. And the another thing is that internet scams are schemes that deceive the user information in various ways in an attempt to take an advantage of them. Internet scams often aim to cheat the victim of personal property directly rather than the personal information through the false promises, confidence tricks, and more. And being a red person, and I have been to this internet scamming which happened. There was a site which offered me a scholarship that I had to pay 50 rupees of amount to it. And I didn't know back then that I am not supposed to pay the money to this because this is the internet scamming. So such things happens. Being a red person, I did that mistake. But what about the person like small children's and the middle-aged persons? They'll not have that good information that they're not supposed to be a victim of this internet scammers. So this is high time, because each and every one of us are using this social media as a communication for the communication purpose. So it is highly necessary that we are supposed to give the proper amount of awareness to create the awareness amongst the youngsters as well as these old age people, these nursery kids, the college going students, because internet scamming is happening everywhere and it is a dangerous thing also. So we are not supposed to give the our personal information, very personal informations like date of births, because date of births are used as a passports in some of the government websites. So we use in our Facebook. If I take an example of Facebook, we give our personal information like date of birth, which is an important thing. This person is born on this year and this date of birth. So that is the very personal information that we are putting on the public platform. So this must not be done by a known person like us. Next slide, please, Shuchika. So if the precautions that one can take against phishing before being a victim. So in order to avoid being a victim, what are the measures that a person can take in order to avoid this phishing? So know what phishing scam looks like. Don't click on the link. Don't click on the links that are being sent into your mobile. Like they'll ask you that they are going to reward you something like 60,000 will be credited to your account if you click on that link. So just get to know what are the real links, what are the fake links that are being sent into your mobile phones. And next, don't give your information to an unsecured site. You are aware, I know if you are using these gadgets and if you are in the internet, in this internet world, you'll be knowing which is good and which is bad, and which is the proper site and which is not a government official sites, like that unofficial site which is official sites, these informations. So if you think that even if you get an information that no, this is not a secured, if you get a doubt, at least a single pin of doubt that this is an unsecured site, don't give your personal informations in those sites. Rotate your passwords regularly. Just change your passwords regularly, like once a month, once a year, once a 6 months. Just change your passwords so that the person might not get access to your real account that you are holding. Then next, don't be tempted by those pop-ups. I have said that if you play this game, you'll be rewarded with this money, you'll be sent into abroad, you'll get this one tickets, abroad tickets and all. Just don't be tempted, because you'll be happy soon after you see such rewards that have been offered by that particular site. So don't be tempted. Don't be a person who just goes to the way which are awarding that such prizes at the cost of your password, at the cost of your real life. And next, have a data security platforms to spot signs of an attack. We know that nowadays mobile phones are offering us, and even laptops are offering us this cyber attack free. Some of the websites are there which are avoiding the hacking, the personal informations are being saved in that site. So have access to just read. And here also there are again some of the frauds which are creating the fake links, and they say that they are going to prevent your information. So just don't be a victim of that. Just don't be a prey of that animal, like that I just wanted to say. Then next slide, please. So now I have explained what are the precautions that one can take against phishing. So these are the precautions that one can take against internet scamming. So secure your internet connection. like in the public places, we tend to connect our Wi-Fi networks. Like if we are getting it for free, just we connect it over that Wi-Fi. And if we are getting that full 50 GB of net, we can use it like that. So we are not supposed to secure our internet connections. First of all, we are not supposed to share our internet information like IP address and some of the very personal, very like it is very personal that we are not supposed to share with anyone. So like that, such information should be secured with ourselves. And next, read the site's privacy policies. Though they are long, complex, privacy policies tell us how much the site protects the personal information it collects. So it is a human tendency that if it is long, if it is 2 pages, 3 pages, we tend to feel like, okay, I have read all. Though we have not read those privacy policies, we tend to tell that yes, I have read this, all the information, that is all the policies that have been put by that site or that company, and we tend to tick, and it will ask like if you have read this ticket, and like we tend to tick it soon after without even touching, without even opening that document. Even this must not be done, though it is complex, though it is long, it is our personal life. In order to protect it, it might take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. Let us read the privacy policies, then let's click on that tick mark. So when you're connecting the public Wi-Fi networks, be cautious about the information that you send over it. So it is very important that when you'll not have the access to your internet, and you'll be in a public place, they will allow you a good internet, and you'll connect it over your Wi-Fi. Then if you are sending the information like bank account details, your company details, your court account details, anything regarding it, please don't share your personal information over the Wi-Fi connections that you are sharing on it. So my dear friends, let us not be a prey for such crucial animals which are this in this internet world today. So let us, before being a victim, let us take precautions and let us avoid being a victim of such internet scamming. So this is all I wanted to say, and I just hand over the presentation to Ms. Poorna. She'll be explaining about the personal safety. Over to you, Poorna.
Okay, thank you, Likita, for giving such a information about the information security which you have to follow and we have to be safer. So let's move on to the personal safety. Personal safety is the first and foremost thing which have to be known as educated person or an uneducated person. So the growth of internet gave rise to many important services accessible to anyone with a connection. So by such a small connection, we can be linked to many people over the world. So one of these important services is digital communication. So we can communicate to other people like not personally or directly. We can communicate to digital also like video calling, chat rooms. So while these services allow communication with others through the internet, this also allow the communication with malicious users. So it's not just a communication with a known person. It is also we are communicating with the wrong person. We are which who could harm us also. While malicious users often use the internet for personal gain, so they may use this communication path just not for the good cause. It is for the very bad cause that they may it may not be limited to financial or material gain. It's not just about the financial, just not the money sake or any material sake. This may be also, this is especially a concern to parents and children, as children are often targets of this malicious uses. Nowadays these children are using internet to a very vast range, so they are the target for those malicious users. So let's hack their personal information. So all these criteria come under this personal safety. So let's move on to next slide, please. So under this personal safety, we'll be knowing about the personal safety predators. So first one is cyberstalking. Is the use of the internet or other electronic means to stalk or harass an individual group or an organization. So it is a harassment which is done to an individual group or an organization over the electronic means. It may include false accusations, defamation, slander, and libel. So it may slander some people or a group or organizations also. It may also include monitoring, identity theft, threats, vandalism, solicitation for sex, or gathering information that may be used to threaten, embarrass, or harass. So it is done, this cyber stalking is done just to harass some people, harass the people, harass the gathering, all these informations which are being used over internet. So next we'll be moving to cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a use of electronic means such as instant messaging, social media, email, and other forms of online communication with the intent to abuse, intimate, or overpower an individual or a group. So cyberbullying, it's a harassment done to a personal person, like talking about his sex, his body color, or body shaming. These all criteria come under cyberbullying. So it may harass a person. So over a study in 2012, it told us 11,925 students in the United States. It was indicated that 23% of adolescents reported being a victim of cyberbullying. So this cyberbullying is mainly on the youth, the youngsters, the adolescents over age of 16 to 25. So these are the people who are undergoing this cyberbullying, body shaming, without their own knowledge. They are clicking into the links, they are into the subscribers of the wrong website. So they are being the victims of this cyberbullying. So 30% of which reported experience suicidal behavior too. So over this cyberbullying, as it been increasing, as it been massive attack for the youngsters, it attacks the younger minds too. So it may lead to the suicidal behavior, often being so harassing by the people about their body, sex, color, and all these wrong behaviors. It is been leading to the suicidal attempts too. So can we move to next slide, please? So the last predator is online predation. It is the act of engaging an underage minor into an inappropriate sexual relationships through the internet. So it is mainly targeting all these predators are mainly targeting on the younger age. So because they are so younger minds, they can grab anything whichever they need. They can grab the positive things also. They can grab to the negative things. They can tempt to into many websites. They can look into many websites, and they're even knowledgeable, but they choose the wrong way. So these online predators, they are morely on the minor group. So the online predators may attempt to initiate and seduce minors into relationships through use of chat rooms or internet forums. This internet is leading us to for the wrong way or also for the right way. It is both boon and bane. Okay, this online predation is leading the my younger minds into a wrong relationships. In a sample of 216 incarcerated sexual offenders, the behavior characteristics that emerged were categorized into three groups. So these online predation are categorized into their behavior characteristics are categorized into three. Those are manipulated, typically a child molester. So these are morely manipulating. They are manipulating the child molester, with one who arms the children, one who is arming the children, because children, they can use internet over many things. They can click into many websites. They can view many things. They are not unknowledgeable. Children are very younger minds are unknowledgeable. So these are categorized manipulating opportunities, typically a rapist, and coercive being mixture of both rapist and child molester. So these are the things which are undergoing. Personal safety is most important. These are the things which are dragging us from the personal safety. So which we have to be knowledgeable and we have to know about these things. So let's take, before being a victim, let's take some precautionary measures to overcome these problems. So uh, I would like to tell Suchika to continue the next part about these precautionary measures. Thank you.
Thank you, Poorna, for the wonderful explanation about what are the the personal safety measures we can take in order to not become a victim. So again, like has she explained, has Poorna has already explained, there are mainly three types: cyber stalking, cyberbullying, and online predation. So since this presentation is focused on all the adolescent and teenager group, we'll talk about the two major things, that is cyber stalking and cyberbullying. So cyber stalking is where a person without with a person without your knowledge is able to collect your information, like including all the sensitive and foremost information which matter to you in your life. So how can you avoid, or what is the preventive measure that you can take against cyber stalking? So the first and foremost step is to keep a low profile. We all know that since we are teenagers or even adolescents, we are tempted to post each and everything into the social media platforms, be it, if we're going on a trip, or even if we have, earned something out of a part-time job. We tend to post each and everything, or where we are, what we do. But that is not the safest way to be on a social media platform. Social media platform is meant only for entertainment and not as a show off platform. Unless you're a social media, you're making money out of social media, where you're an influencer or a YouTuber, and your major source of income is where you portray your life and get income. If you're not, in case you're not such an influencer, then please keep your profiles as low as possible. Not everybody has to know about what is going on in your life, because that can become a potential threat to you itself later on. So keeping a low profile is the first and foremost important thing to have a preventive measure for cyber stalking. Second one is updating your software. So we all know that there are softwares like iOS, Android, or even for your PC there are separate antiviral softwares which are always there. Not on security is there. So all of these have to being kept updated all the time, because these are those which protect you from the viruses which attack your personal information or all your other apps which you're using on your device. And the more virus attack, the more your system is prone to virus attack. It means that your system can easily be hacked. So please keep your softwares updated, so that you can stay safe from all such viruses. And hide your IP address. So you may ask, what is an IP address? So basically, when you buy a new gadget, okay, be it a laptop or a tablet or a smartphone for all that matter, you will get a code which is specific to your device. So why is this IP address used? Because once you go missing or something, if they have to track you down, or if you're a criminal and if they have to track you down, that is when they use a IP address. Okay. But then, since there is a lot of black crime and cyber crime which is happening on the internet, IP address can also be used to get your information illegally. So please keep your IP address hidden, which is an option on your device. So please check your settings again, and if your IP address is not hidden, please go and hide it right away. Avoid disclosing sensitive information. So you may see many celebrities talking about their mental health, or the sensitive information about their past traumas or all of that. As a normal person, as a commoner, please do not do that, because once people get to know your weaknesses, they tend to use it against you. The world is not as nice as it is shown on the social media, or the sympathy shown against celebrities will not be shown to commoners. So as a common individual on social media, as a normal teenager, as a normal adolescent, you do not have to disclose any of your information, be it any mental health issue that you possess, like maybe you're undergoing depression. Do not post it on the internet, because people will tend to put you down using the same information. So now, moving on to cyberbullying, as my friend has already explained what cyberbullying is. It's where I'll give you a simple example. For example, if I post an image of myself on my social media platform, some people may tend to encourage it, but there are many people who just send negative comments, like they may comment on the length of my hair, that how it's not nice, or the length of my how I am, how they can body shame, how I'm physically structured. They can tend to put you down in many ways. They may tend to create an image of yourself in your own mind, telling that you're not enough, or that you're not complete, or something like that. It could be even be about your gender or your sexual preferences, or be it any of that matter. So how can you avoid cyberbullying? There's actually no hard and fast rule where you can completely avoid cyberbullying, because it's based on how other people perceive you. But there are certain steps that you can always take to prevent what cyberbullies can do to you. So what are some of those steps we have listed down in our presentation here? And first one is avoid encouraging people you don't know in real life on your social life. So we know that meeting people online is a very interesting sport, but it is absolutely not a safe sport. It's more like digging your own grave. Okay. So as much as possible, please avoid meeting new friends online, or accepting requests from people you don't know at all in your real life. The more people, if you know a person in your real life and you accept them on social media, that is a different scenario. But if you don't know the person, you don't even know if they will exist or not, or they could be any sort of a predator. They could be somebody 40 years older than you pretending as an 18-year-old boy. And all of those type of things also happen on social media, and those people could be cyberbullies to you. So do not encourage people who you don't know in real life to follow you on social media platforms. And do not open any messages from people you do not recognize. So on social media platforms, like again Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, you will get messages from strangers who you don't know at all, asking for a follow request, or telling them that your profile is nice, or any of such things. Do not fall for those. They may be charming in the beginning, but in the end they will be a potential threat to you again. So update your privacy policy. So you may ask again, what is a privacy policy? Every social media app that you use, be it Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of them, they always have this thing called as a privacy policy in their settings section, where you have to keep them updated from time and again. Keep your apps also updated in the Play Store. You can get this. You get this option to update it every a few months later or 3 months later. Please do that, because with those they keep changing their information codes or anything in such a way that your information will be secured. So please keep your apps updated and also your privacy policy updated. Allow only people you know to have access to comments and suggestions on your social media. We all know we live in a very cruel world, but they can also be nice people. I'm not saying everybody is cruel, but cyberbullying is something which not only some people are prone to, or a certain age group are prone to. It is ranging from all people, like even 13-year-olds undergo cyberbullying, even 40-year-olds go undergo cyberbullying. So people you don't know should not have access to comment on what you have posted, or give you suggestions about what you need to do with your life. Most of the times it's always negative comments and negative suggestions. So kindly avoid all of such things for your own safety and for your own well-being. It also creates a very positive platform for yourself and the people who are following you on your social media platforms. So now that we've discussed about what are the types of social media threats, or cyber threats, and also we have discussed about what are the types of threats and what are the precautionary measures. Now, what do we do if we have become a victim? So someday you wake up one morning and you find yourself becoming a victim of one of the cyber crimes. What do you do? I'd like to ask my counterparts, Likita and Puna, what would you guys do if you became a victim of cybercrime?
If I would become a victim of this cyberbullying, or if I become a victim, I would soonly just contact the cyber police who are there, and just I should get to know what kind of cyberbullying, or what kind of victim I have become, so that I can inform if I have become, if my Instagram account is being hacked or Facebook account is being hacked, so that I can inform a respective cybercrime policies, so that they get the information about the hackers, and they get to tend to block that hackers from my account, and they can help me out in my being a victim of that social media platform. So that I would do. And also I would report immediately if I find myself as a victim of that particular site. I would report to a, I would report. There will be a report option there. I would go there, report. Why? Because my account has been hacked, like that. If I can become a victim online, I can find the solution online. So as my friend has told, like that, so I would do that, Shuchika, if I become a victim like that.
That's very nice. That's also very brave of you. Poorna, I'd like to hear from you. What would you do in case you became a victim of cybercrime?
So, firstly, I would like to contact the person who knows much more than these websites, more knowledgeable than me. So after that, I'll just take the help of the public servants like cybercrime police. All these people, they are ready to help us. First, we contact those people, ask others also, because more than contacting the people, public servants will be having many works. So we should contact the people who know much more than this, knowledgeable person, hackers or hacking, who know about this. I would like to contact those people and find a good solution for this cause.
There are also
What a
some of
brave
the
answer.
private institution. Yeah, I have one more solution. Is like there are also some of the private institutions who are taking up this activity as their service, and they are helping us. And I found that on Instagram that there was a lady who was being trolled by the troll pages. So that was the information that she gave, was that there was a person named by Sunil or something, and she contacted him. Soon after contacting, about after 1 hour, she found that all the troll memes that are created by that troll pages were removed immediately. And this was the step that she took. And I would tell my fellow friends that to watch the videos that is being released on the Instagram, and to check out before being a victim. Let us take the safety measures for not being a victim. So that is the best solutions that one can do.
Those are very wonderful answers. But these are answers given from really strong, mentally strong, and really brave people. I appreciate both of you for being this brave. But many people who are not very knowledgeable about, cyber crimes, they tend to take the wrong measures. Immediately they jump into wrong decisions, taking wrong decisions like self-harm or suicide, or because they're scared, because they are scared what happens if my family gets to know about this, or what happens if this reaches my relatives. And this is a very stereotypical thought, but you should also know something, that if something has happened online, it can also be corrected online. And one major thing you have to know is that being a victim is not your fault. Be it in, even if it's a real life crime or if it's an online crime, being a victim is not your fault. It's always the person who has done wrong to you, they are at fault. But what you hold responsible for is correction of the wrongdoers. So here we have, being a victim is not your fault, but correction of the wrongdoers is your responsibility. All right, so despite our best efforts, for taking the precautionary measures, there are always some loopholes where we fall into and we become a victim of the social crime. So, in order to avoid those, we have taken measures, but somehow, somewhere or the other, somebody has done something else in order to get your information, and that can still ruin your reputation or your social status, or even your, money laundering. All of such type of crimes can also happen. So once you become a victim, first and foremost, you have to stay calm, because, panicking is like, holding an umbrella and waiting for it to rain, because you're thinking about the problem twice already. So instead, you can take certain measures as a victim. First thing and foremost thing is to report. Definitely, you have to report. But what do you do before that? As soon as you find out you're a victim, stay calm, because it's always okay, because it's not your fault, and you can always correct it as well. So first thing you do is recognize the type of cybercrime. In case you have to report something, you have to also recognize what you're trying to report, right? So there are different types of cybercrimes, as we've already spoken in this presentation, and you should be aware of how you can, how to recognize that type of cybercrime and report it, like particularly, because it makes the case easier to be solved. All right. And if possible, look for the root source of what has been, like, how the cybercrime has been caused. Sometimes if cyberbullying is the case that you're trying to report, you will always know there are certain set of people who you suspect, at least not exactly victim blame, but if you suspect such type of people, you can report them as well. You cannot tell them that these are the actual crime doers, but if you tell them these are the suspects, actions will be taken on them as well. And recognizing people who are causing the harm will help deal with the issues better. This can be with cyberstalking or with cyberbullying, or even in case of, which link you have clicked on social media. Like, for example, if you, after you clicked a certain set of links, your account got deactivated or something happened, like for your bank account got deactivated, you're not able to access your credit cards or your bank accounts, something, you can always trace it back to where you clicked, or which account which website you had opened. So if you keep a memory of those things, or if you keep a memory in your device itself to track down all of these, it will be very helpful to report the cybercrime. And report the people or strangers or unknown strangers or known people who cause harm online. So as Likita already said, that, there's always the report option for something, something is going wrong. Maybe it's not only to you, but you see somebody doing wrong to somebody else, like a cyberbullying. For that case, you can always choose the report option, and Instagram or, Facebook or any other social media platform will deactivate the person who is doing the wrong activity there. And being aware of laws and legalities of internet security. The Indian Constitution, as we all know, has a certain set of rules dedicated only for cybercrimes. Be it any form of it, there's also a PDF which is freely available online, where you can read the laws, rules, regulations, what are the punishments. You have to, especially being a female, for me, being aware of these, laws and legislatures, all of these are very important, because I'll have to use it for my own security and safety some or the other day. All right. So, and the last 2 points, which we personally tell each and every victim of social media, cyber crime or any of that sort, is that do not be devastated, because again, it's not your fault. And know that suicide or self harm is not the solution. Many people think that, once they die or something, everything is going to be sorted. No, it's causing more harm, because you're encouraging people to do cybercrime, more of cybercrime. It's not, if you're not punishing them, then they can cost a lot of other lives as well. They can take another a lot of other lives as well. So, stay strong and be very strong with your own ethical values, because you will know that you have not done anything wrong. So you will also be courageous to report something which you are not wrong for. All right. So with all of this information, we heartily hope, we all of us hope that you have a very safe internet experience with all of this, and I hope that all of you learned something or the other from this entire session. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for
Thank you.
giving us this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Miss Suchika, Likita, and Poorna, for this wonderful, insightful presentation on awareness on this particular internet safety. I hope our viewers will be more benefited with this particular talk. I, Dr. Pratibha K, signing off for the day. Stay tuned with me. We'll be back with some more videos. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.